And we are with Brando from Body by Brando. Nearly got that wrong. There's a few body buys around. There's one in Perth, and surely there's some other ones. So how'd you come up with it?
They're starting to pop up, hey? I don't know if it was me first or them first, but I'll claim it.
Yeah.
How did I come up? I don't know how I came up with it. I was working at Vision at the time,
Yeah.
and I was like, yeah, what should I call myself? And I don't know what came up. Yeah, it just came up. That's all I had. I just like
Nice.
alliteration.
It was a night out. I was out with the boys one night, and they were like, "Man, you should call your gym Helix because it's a double DNA strand is like a helix or something."
Yeah,
And I was like, "Oh, that's sick!" And I was super drunk, and then I was like, "Yeah, that was it." And then that
yeah.
stuff, 7 years later. So that's it. Anyway, back to you, brother. If we met you at a dinner party, how would you introduce yourself?
Sweet. So yeah, I'd probably go. That's a hard question to ask, but I'll go sports scientist by trade. But now I've gone down the route of opening gyms. So I've got two gyms, and we've created an online fitness brand, which is sort of coach development and client development. So
Yeah.
that's what
So would you actually introduce yourself as a sports scientist?
I have before, because I hate saying PT. I hate saying I'm a PT because people go,
Yeah.
"Oh, everyone like your nan's a PT." Like,
Yeah.
so I'm like, if I say sports scientist, you get that little bit of extra credibility.
Yeah, they're like, whatever, mate. Like sports scientists. Come on. What are you
Yeah.
fucking Yeah, that's pretty funny. I like that. So in your opinion, what's your number one most overlooked practice in health and fitness?
Thanks for sending those questions through. That helped a lot.
You've been
I think of this stuff on the QA.
Yeah, you've been like, oh my God, this is fucking rough.
Some people hit you up with some big ones, and you're like, "Oh, what is going on?" No, yeah, I think consistency. People love the challenges. They love coming through on those fad sort of programs. But I think the biggest thing that's overlooked is just people staying consistent. Like we have a saying at our gym is long-term consistency will trump short-term intensity. So that's probably one of the biggest things. What do you reckon?
Did you make that up? Is that yours as well?
Yeah, that's definitely mine. I don't think anyone's ever said that before. So
Nah, that's the first time I've ever heard it.
yeah. All my quotes are mine. Actually, yeah, make them all up.
Dude, I gotta change the names when I like paraphrase people's quotes. Obviously, they're all by you. So
Yeah.
Brando Hasick. My number one overlooked practice, what the fuck would that be? I've actually never even been asked that. I would say just focusing on not training, on the recovery component of it. Everyone just fucking kills it in the gym. And then they just go home and sleep 2 hours and, do a bunch of pingers and drink beers every night. And then they're like, yeah, man, fitness.
I've
But
been noticing you've been doing some a lot of recovery on the Whoop and that. How you finding that?
bro, I'm just trying to be a recovery queen. I'm like nearly 30, so shit's going downhill for me. I noticed when I turned 28, like fuck, everything just started hurting. I was like, oh my God, what am I doing wrong here? And yeah, just try to get on the recovery thing. But obviously, I'm just getting old and frail, so my performance is generally going downhill. Yeah, in 2 years, I'll probably be like one of those gymnastics dudes. I'll be like, yeah, man, weights didn't work for me. I'm just doing
Yeah,
handstands and ring muscle ups because it's way less intense on the joints. So
I feel like
have you noticed that? Like people
yeah,
always go from that. They're just like,
yeah.
yeah, man, weights are too aggressive for the body.
No, way too bad for you. Hey, yeah. Or
You'll
you
see,
start
man. You'll see. A couple of years and you'll be like, fuck, that's what
jiu-jitsu.
Tim was saying.
You go to jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Every thought spin
Jiu-jitsu.
up, go
Yeah.
to jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
I swear it's like a rite of passage. You've got to be about 35 and then you can start jiu-jitsu.
Nice. So you're a couple of years away?
Yeah, I'm only 28, so yeah, I'm starting to get sore too. I'm
Oh,
actually
dude, I thought you were older than 28.
28 now, just the other week.
You're not that like hell young gym owner anymore. Like when you were like early 20s, everyone's like, oh man, you're so successful and cool. Did you get that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I used to love it. I used to love being young and like doing things. And now it's like, oh, you actually should be doing things now that you're 28. So it's
Yeah.
not cool.
You should have your shit together. You should be paying the tax, man. I fucking
Yeah.
am.
Hey, I like 24 and being cool.
Anyway, I don't even think we've talked about anything fitness specific here, just talking shit. But biggest lesson owning a gym. Multiple gyms, sorry. Multiple gym owner.
Yeah, multiple now. Two is
Yeah.
pair of gyms. Murder of gyms.
Deuce gyms.
Dos Gymos. Biggest lesson, yeah, found this out the hard way. So for some of those who have heard my story before, I talk about this a lot because it's kind of cool to talk about the failures sometimes. But I opened a second gym in Artarmon, which is about 10 Ks away from our first gym about 3 years ago. And it just, hit rock bottom pretty quick. We didn't have any systems. We didn't have any staff. We only had myself and two others. Great guys, but put way too much pressure on them. We now have 10 staff across 2 gyms. So you can see how quickly the second gym would have failed with only 3 people across 2 gyms.
Yeah.
So the biggest lesson was systemizing.
Nice.
Talked about this personally, but yes, systems.
What's been the biggest game changer for systems? Like anything in particular?
Teaching my staff how to sell and just everything that goes on day to day that I don't need to do. So I don't coach as much anymore, and sort of bringing them up to speed on the coaching is probably one of the biggest things that we had to systemize, was what a 5-star session looked like, what a 5-star onboarding for our fundamentals looks like. They're the biggest systems we created.
I love when we're on business coaching calls and someone's got a question and you're like, I've got a document for that. And then you just send it over. And I'm like, of course he's got a fucking document for that. Literally, you've probably got a document for how to wipe your ass or something. Like,
there's one coming. But Mario says that all the time. He's like, of course you do. You got a document, don't you? I'm like, got a spreadsheet too if you want one.
Brando's got it. I laughed last time. Was it the coach pay rates one that you had? I was like, fucking hell. Obviously he's got this. I'm just like, yep, $40 an hour. There we go. That's your fucking pay rate.
There we go.
Take it.
Take it or leave it.
What is your philosophy behind health and fitness? So I was scrolling through your Instagram and I was like, a lot of shirtless pics, a couple of beers, a bit of girlfriend, a lot of budgie smugglers. So specific, I couldn't get a philosophy out of it, but what would be your main philosophy around health and fitness?
That's pretty much sums it up. Yeah. Do some cool things, be able to move your body so you can do cool things and take your shirt off.
Okay.
If we are talking proper philosophy, it'd be I like being able to do everything. So that's my philosophy, is that you should, be able to increase the 10 physical adaptations that CrossFit talks about. I think that's one of the best things they've ever done is define those physiological adaptations. So, being able to lift heavy weights, be able to run 10Ks and be able to touch your toes on the same day is our philosophy. And if you see yourself lacking in any one of those sort of realms, then that's where you spend a bit of time. And eventually the idea is that you've, unrestricted in movement and unrestricted in what you want to do.
Yep. Cool. So be a generalist.
Be pretty much, a really good generalist.
What would be your weakness of those 10?
Probably none. I'm actually
I'm amazing at everything.
I'm actually really good. Probably strength. Yeah, I'm not very strong.
Bro, you're going hard on it though.
Yeah,
Mr. Wave loads. That's all I see is just wave loads.
Yeah, we did that, but what I find is my joints don't like the intensity. So I can sit around. I could train for 4 hours back to back at like a 70-80%. As soon as I cross that threshold of like 85-90, shit hurts.
Yeah. It's like what?
Knees have been bad lately. That's why I'm not squatting as much.
Right, it's over 28. That's what happens.
Yeah, I think it's just age. I might just back everyone. I used to say that to people, like, you can't just use age as an excuse. And now I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, 28's the thing.
Yeah, 100%. Cool. So knees. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I was squatting yesterday and I was like, was that a pop in my knee? And then I kind of came out of the squat. I was like, oh, sweet, we're all good. I've got some movement here. But I've never had a pop in the knee before. But I don't know if that's just an age thing again.
Yeah, just run it off and see if it hurts.
Yeah, Ben Patrick would be like, yeah, just fucking do some ATG step-ups. And yeah, run backwards and you'll be all good. What are you curious about right now?
A few things. I suppose how far we can run with this company we've created, Body By Brando, how far we can actually take it, and whether or not, there's going to be scope for longevity. That's always the biggest question as a business owner. Yep. But probably the bigger than that is, how long before fitness becomes impenetrable for the smaller guys, like whether or not the big companies are going to take over. Like there's so many people franchising now. I wonder if that's going to be a problem down the future, or if it's actually going to help, smaller guys like us rise.
Do you think it will be a problem?
Depends. I saw another franchise pop up yesterday and they're sort of like announcing 57 studios and so many territories are already booked out across Australia. And I was like, fuck, how many more can pop up?
What is it? Like, what's the niche?
Just HIIT training.
HIIT training. Yeah, okay.
That's the thing. There's so many.
There's enough of those.
There's enough. But that's what I mean. Like, you start doing that for long enough, if people just give up on the industry because they're just so sick of like searching through information. What do you reckon?
Well, the fitness industry is like the Wild West, man. There's so many cowboys out there in every niche. But yeah, I guess a big player in business comes through and does it properly. Like it's taken me fucking 10 years to work this thing out properly. And I probably still haven't even worked it out properly. So I'd imagine a big business could come in and do this a lot faster than we have with the systems and stuff that you have. So yeah, where's it going? Fuck knows. I'm just going to enjoy the ride and just give the best service I can at the moment. I don't know if it's going to be in our lifetime where we've got to worry about this.
Nah, hopefully sort of everything will be set up by then. And
a question just slapped me in the face. So if you couldn't name your gym Body by Brando, what would you name it?
Oh yeah, I'm thinking about this now because we're like, oh, if we keep getting bigger, like, do we want it to be Body by Brando?
You must walk in, everyone's just like, Brando, there he is.
There he is.
I've met Brando, have you?
Sometimes I get a bit embarrassed because I walk in and have to introduce myself to people at the gym.
Hey, I'm Brando. Name's up there.
Yeah, that's me. But it's kind of cool. I've tried a few different things. Like, what was I thinking? Hang on. It was like Studio One, something along the lines of Studio, but I don't know if I like that. Actually, one thing I did want to call it a while ago was like Charles Darwin Fitness, because it would be like survival of the fittest.
That's clever.
Yeah, because I was like, you come here and you got to be fit to survive. So come to our gym. We'll make you fit.
I like it. One of my friends' his gym's called Bodies by Ryan, and it's BBR, and then he changed his name to Better Body Results.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So he kind of just went on the BBR thing or BBB thing, which is pretty interesting because he's franchising and shit. But it's always an interesting one. When I first started out, I was like, Tim Ferriss, strength conditioning, and I was like, nah, it's fucking not good.
I would not recommend anyone ever calling their gym after themselves.
Is that a lesson?
That's probably one of the biggest lessons. I mean, it worked though, because it's like
100%.
It's worked in its own right, but it's like what got you here might not get you there.
Yeah, so
it might go down the
I guess if you're a celebrity.
Yeah,
a celebrity influencer like you, you're gonna be killing it.
18,000. What do you reckon? Triple B?
Yeah, you're like 18,127 followers.
Yes.
No, you. Oh, I don't know. Fuck no.
Oh, it's like God, I went up.
Yeah, I stopped looking at your account every day a couple of weeks ago. So
yeah, plateaued for the last 3 years. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah, what got you up to that initial level? Like, what did you do? Just shirtless pics?
Shirtless pics helped. Yep. Naked photo shoot helped. Did that a while ago.
It's game modeling.
Didn't put any on mine. Game modeling. The guy that took them, he put a few up, and we got a fair few followers from that. But obviously, content, bro. Like fucking content. That.
Yeah, obviously, the world's greatest content. Of any fitness influencer. That'll get
But heaps of smarts. It's got nothing to do with the ad.
Sports scientist in the bio.
Yeah,
that's gonna get it there. Anyway, what makes you feel inspired?
Inspired. The thought of what we can do. I suppose. Every day I wake up inspired, and I just feel like I've got so much that I want to do. I'm not sure if that's inspiration or just I want to get to something bigger. That's probably the inspiration.
What do you want to get to? What bigger?
Yeah, still haven't defined it, but I do want to have a couple more gyms potentially in the near future, or some sort of headquarters gym where it's bigger, more classes, potentially like a Globo gym set up. I'm not sure if financially that's a great way to go, competing with all the other commercial gyms. Eventually, the long-term goal is to have some a really big, strong online education content for coaches.
Yeah,
we can do some coach development stuff, but we're going to have different arms along the way, sort of online for clients, online for coaches, have some facilities, just create some sort of online coaching brand is the big goal.
Awesome. So I've toyed this up in my head as well with the, Globo Gym style thing. And I'm like, cool, if I can get X amount of people at this price point, which is crazy high compared to the industry, how many fucking people could I get in on a 24/7 deal?
Yeah.
Fucking thousands. And they do a much better job than all the other twits in the area doing a really bad job. I've thought about this hundreds of times. Is that something that ran through your head?
Do you reckon that? So what I was thinking is like the hybrid model. So you'd almost get two warehouses side by side, or you'd have just one big warehouse and divide it. So you'd walk in and then you go right to go to the commercial gym, but it'd be like an epic setup, like proper commercial facility, but also a lot of functional space as well, because a lot of commercials lack that. And then on the left-hand side, you'd have the classes and the personal training. I think that'd be epic. You'd only need like, maybe 500 members paying $49 a week, like higher, like you said. But you'd offer them a program and you'd offer them onboarding and stuff as well, so they'd actually get results. But for the people like you and me that wouldn't want to go to potentially a CrossFit gym, they'll do that. And then you've got classes as well.
Yeah, it's cool. I like that heaps. I went to Zoo Culture in LA. Bradley, I don't know the dude's name. He's like a YouTuber dude. And he had like some kind of similar setup to what you're talking about there. It was crazy. Everyone in there was like famous. Like it was ridiculous. Like I'd be like, this dude had like 1 million followers. This dude had like 3 million. They were shooting like a YouTube video on the other side. Podcast studio in the gym, like full setup. Everything was decked out. It was fucking unreal. But that was cool. Yeah, super interesting. So where does the drive come from to be quote unquote excellent in your physical pursuit?
The drive, I've always had a thing for not wanting to be mediocre. Like I hate people that make excuses. Don't hate the people. I hate the behavior of making excuses, and it just drives me to want to do the opposite. I think I sort of see things. I'm like, all right, that's what the behavior I don't like. What can be the polar opposite? And that's sort of excellence. I think that's where I get driven by not wanting to be perceived as like lazy or have excuses. So then I sort of just do everything I can in my power to do the opposite. Okay. Working hard or, in both training or business or whatever. So it's just like getting shit done, making sure whatever you try and do, you do.
So driven by pain.
I think more driven by pain than pleasure. Yeah.
Interesting. So what's going on with your Mario? What's this Kaizen Collective about?
Yeah. I've had a few false starts with this whole thing. I've never wanted to be quote unquote a business coach because it's not, it's not my jam. It doesn't really drive me.
Too late. It's me.
Yeah. Busy.
We're here.
We're here, but it's like, eventually you've got skills that people want to acquire. So, if the shoe fits, you've got to eventually wear it. And Mario's just been a super good friend of mine for a long time. He helped me out a lot in the early days. And he's probably the closest thing I've come to who I sort of wanted to work with on it. And it was just sort of the right time. So what we're doing is just, he's had a few people under his belt already, and he does the sales and marketing education. Whereas I sort of come in and, like you've said, my systems aren't too shabby. So I help people systemize their business based on what I know.
Awesome. And what's it called? The Kaizen Collective?
Yeah.
Cool. How does it work? Like people come in, it's like a 12-week thing, 6-month thing. Like what's going on?
We're very fresh. We're trying out a few different models. So we did a 10-week accelerator where they did 10 weeks. However, now we're sort of going to do a modulated course. We're using like Kajabi as our online course to sort of give them 4 different modules. So they come on with an onboarding package where there's like, what I consider to be the essentials of running a business, like learning your numbers, learning your packages, pricing. And then there's 3 separate arms. So we talk about attracting new clients. We talk about learning how to convert those. So marketing followed by sales, followed by operations. And there's sort of just 3 areas of that they can learn. And we sort of help them decide where they should plug in first. Most people it's systems.
Yeah. Okay. I had a few questions come through. I was like, I'm jumping on with Brando. Here's some questions. Who's got them? I got a lot of like, what does he look like naked and stuff like that. So I was going to go through 2 serious questions here. So Brando, Jess K, I'm not losing fat. Should I cut down my carbs? Please help.
Ooh, thanks, Jess. We get this one a lot. So a lot of it, our business is focused on transforming the way people look, move, and feel. So that's the big difference of what we do is not only like transformations, but we help people move really well. But the people who do want transformations, we help them get into a calorie deficit. Now, if you're in a calorie deficit and you're not losing weight, you're not in a calorie deficit. So whether that's because you're eating too much or whether or not you're not moving enough. So your total daily energy expenditure, there's a combination or an equation between the two. So Jess, if you're not losing body fat, you've either got to start counting your calories a lot more closely. So there's a few options. You've either got the algorithm wrong to start with, and it's showing that you're allowed to eat this many calories when in fact you're not allowed to eat that many calories. There's potentially the option that you're not tracking 100% to what you're actually putting in your mouth. And the third option is you're not actually moving enough. So therefore the food that you're eating is putting you in a neutral calorie plane, and therefore you're not in a deficit.
Awesome. Great answer. I can strongly suggest with that, everyone's always under calculating what they're consuming from experience. Everyone's like, yeah, cool, I'm only having 1,200 calories plus oil, plus condiments, plus drinks, plus soft drinks. And then it's like, cool, all of a sudden it's 1,600 calories and they're not in a deficit.
Yeah.
And then next question for Body by Brando, Sai121. I'm just starting to get back into training after the lockdowns in my country. And I used to get super dizzy at the start of training. What do you think this is from and how can I combat it? That is a mystery question.
Yeah, mystery dizzy. Dizziness is usually with blood, related to salt. So if you your blood pressure. So if you're getting dizzy, depends on how early you're getting dizzy and what you're doing. And is he saying that he's still dizzy now, or he was dizzy before lockdown, now he's not dizzy?
Yeah, so dizzy when they used to train, but now everything's opening up. So they're getting back into it. So they were like,
want to be dizzy.
I'm guessing it's just about don't want to be dizzy no more. And how does Brando help me?
I don't want to be dizzy no more.
Ain't no dizzy no more.
Yeah, I'd potentially look at your blood pressure and see what that's doing. If it's super low, it's going to be, you're going to get dizzy. So you can potentially play around with salt and electrolytes, not Gatorade. Definitely don't just go and have Gatorade before you train, because they're not electrolytes, they're sugar. So if you want electrolytes, look at snake juice, or look at even just a bit of Celtic sea salt in a bit of lemon water.
Yeah.
That could help sort of increase the blood pressure, playing around with the sodium ion channels and things like that. However, depends on what you're doing. Things like burpees, like going up and down, the blood has a long way to travel. So sometimes it can sort of just short out, and that's why you might be getting dizzy. So potentially what you do is make a list of things that make you dizzy, and then see how long it takes you to get dizzy with those movements. So if it's burpees, do you get dizzy at 10 or do you get dizzy at 20? If it's 20, how many can you do? And then start to build that tolerance and that capacity. Because, if I did 100 burpees, I'd probably get pretty dizzy right now. But if I did 10, I might be fine. So everything's based on your thresholds.
That would be AIDS, 100 burpees. You talked about snake juice there. Go through your definition of snake juice. I saw Keegan post it and then I made it. It was fucking putrid.
Yeah, I've only really done it once. I wasn't great at it. And I just said it because I've never really done it. But I know it's good for you. But I like...
was it black cup soda and... Himalayan pink salt and some other stuff.
Yeah, that's what they put in it. That's pretty full on. Yeah. So bicarb soda obviously changes the pH of your body.
Yeah.
And then the salt is obviously going to change the blood pressure based on the sodium ion channel. So that's what you're looking for. A bit of magnesium too, I think, don't they have?
Yeah, there is. I've got a funny story about these electrolytes. So when I used to work in America, I worked at University of Arizona, and they had Gatorade on tap for like all athletes. So basically when you came in, you had to like scull a fucking pint of Gatorade to get your electrolytes in, as like mandated by the college, which was retarded. And then at the end of the workout, you had to go around to the protein thing, and you have these 2 like full shakes of muscle milk at the end. And this shit was like packed with sugar and all sorts of stuff. And that was like their like ritual for recovery. And I was like, that shit is so fucking bad for you. They were going through, I think it was like 400 athletes, so it was like 800 a day or something. It's a fucking crazy amount of protein shakes.
That's hectic.
And I was the bitch that was making them for everyone, which was fantastic.
That was your job, was it? Just making protein shakes?
Yeah, at some point it definitely was. We had like a burpees challenge with our team. So anytime someone fucked up in the team, I made everyone do 200 burpees. So like stupid mistakes, like not filling in the waiver and, just dumb shit like that. But at the end of it, we did like 600 or 700 burpees in a few days, and I was fucking over it. I was super over people making mistakes, but no mistakes got made after that. Brando, going into our final 2 questions, if you could have a meal with any 3 people, dead or alive, who would they be?
I found this question super hard, but now I'm actually starting to think of heaps of them. Robin Williams would be an epic one. I just saw the word dead and I was like, oh, poor Robin Williams. He'd be epic to have a dinner with, I reckon.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
It'd be funny. And then I've got on the list, so the other three, so to make four, would be Matt McConaughey. I just reckon he'd be a legend just to hang out with and have a couple of pints and whatever else comes with a couple of pints and just shoot the shit. And then Warren Buffett, just sort of get him to teach me all these ways so then I wouldn't have to worry about investing for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Take his biggest tips. And Richard Branson, I reckon, would be a cool cat to jump on the brewskis with. Where would I take them to eat? Oh, I don't know. Probably try and show off and take them somewhere cool. Sydney, I suppose.
Yeah, there's a few cool places around there. Man, have you heard Matthew McConaughey's bedtime story on Calm?
No, does he have one?
Dude, it's like 30 minutes of him just like telling you a story, and I'm like, this is so sexy.
This is
Matthew McConaughey in my ear, talking me to sleep. This is amazing.
I'll play it when Ashton's not feeling it, so I might get her in the mood.
Yeah, 100%. That's what I do, man. It's the ultimate aphrodisiac. It's Matthew McConaughey. I try to put on my voice, but Steph's not into it. Investing. Are you into investing?
Yeah, I dabble. I'm trying to learn. I'm probably.
How hard is it? Oh man.
Yeah,
it's a lot to wrap your head around.
It's a lot to learn. Yeah, I'm doing my John West, but I've got a few mates. One of my first clients has helped me a lot, so he's put me into different funds along the way. But now, trying to learn my own strategies that I can dabble in to sort of take some responsibility, but it is a lot to wrap your head around for sure.
It's such a grown-up thing. One of my clients gave me this investing like book. It's like fucking this big, and he's like, read it, and I'm like, oh no, can I just pay someone to give me advice? But I guess it's like training. Like you need to learn it eventually.
You need to learn. Yeah, you want to have some sort of. You want to understand the principles. Hey, a lot of the books I read now are just all investing books.
Yeah, investing in business. I really like. I need to read more fun stuff, but life can be not fun. So, Brando, how do people find you?
Pretty much just Body By Brando at the moment. If you'd find that on Facebook and Instagram and the webs. That's where I'm at. I think that's it. Yeah.
Nice. Do you have anything you want to plug?
Nah, not really. We do have a build program if anyone wants to, get super jacked online and learn how to train really well. It's a pretty cool product, but we're doing all right. We don't need to plug too much.
If you don't want to get jacked, then
if you have to get mediocre,
if you haven't been skinny wig bitch, don't even. Thanks for jumping on, Brando. I have laughed my ass off for the last half an hour. It's been fantastic, and we'll chat soon.
Okay, brother. Thank you.